What?
Hi, my name's Fred Kirk and this is my EPQ. The title of my EP is an inquiry into the nature of spice and the extraction of capsaicinoids. The reason I chose this comes from my prior love of chilies and the fact that I wanted to learn more about them. Under this title, I completed many tasks, including growing chilies, making a greenhouse, learning about making chili sauces, and obviously health and safety elements towards the extraction of the capsaicinoids themselves. And all this came originally from my brainstorming, which can be seen here.
Initial brainstorming for my project, which is split into 3 sections, like most of my project, allowing it to be adaptable over time. This was made in September and is pretty much the first thing I created. Here is the timeline, which similarly contains all the tasks that needed to be done, including when they were set to be done and when they were finished, to give a good overview of how the project went.
The tasks from my brainstorming were ordered using optimum path theory, which allowed me to perform them in the most efficient way. In starting this project, I also had to develop my project management skills. These include my Gantt chart and my timeline, which I'll show you now.
To aid with project management, I have my custom Gantt chart with formulas to help everything be automated. It's split into 3 stages, like my timeline, to create an adaptable project. There is also my project log, which I have in order to evidence and say what I've been doing. I say the challenges and solutions to such challenges, including any sources I used in performing this section of my project. This is the skill stretch document in which I outline many of the skills that I've used in my project and developed over time. Here are a few of them. All of my research has been summated in documents such as this. This is a research report that I've created on chilies and their mechanisms. As you can see, it has photos and the sources at the bottom. These sources link to my source evaluation document, in which all of my sources have been compiled, cited using the Harvard referencing system, given a type, and also evaluated. This can be seen to be a lot of them, and also there is a wide range of sources. There is also a wide range of primary research sources, including many research ventures such as going to shops, finding out what chilies they have to get an insight into what the market desires, alongside some testing of chilies with my friends. There is also a document in which I highlight all the money I've spent and what on, including the link when they arrived and when I bought it.
In fact, here's 2 examples of things that I bought. A round bottom flask and a sock slit extractor. Between these we can complete the extraction, as I'll show you now. And here's where the magic happened, and in fact, here's the capsaicinoids. This is the capsaicinoids from the first batch. This is my most concentrated solution, and you can see it's almost like tar at the bottom of this. And then here is a more watered down version. It still has its viscosity, but again, this is some very spicy content. This is all the equipment in here, and this is where the setup was. Insert picture here. There is the capsaicinoid ethanol solution. Another large part of my project was growing chilies. I built this greenhouse and have been growing these since the start of lockdown now, and as you can see, they're starting to bear some wonderful fruit. Additionally, since the start of lockdown, whilst I was growing the chilies, I started my own YouTube series. So I have a 6-part video series in which I discuss the extraction itself and my thoughts on growing chilies and the likes. This has taken up a lot of time, and I've learned how to edit videos. I've also learned a lot about YouTube itself and the skills required for that. So there's a lot of extra things that I've added onto my project since lockdown. One of the skills I actually set out to develop was my health and safety awareness. Now, there's a lot of dangers with the extraction of capsaicinoids. There's a lot of chemistry equipment, there's fire, there's dangerous chemicals, and most importantly, there's the chilies themselves, which are inherently painful and dangerous. And so I had to take this into consideration.
The Change to Project Over Time document notes any problems and their solutions. The accident and near-miss report shows any injuries I've had or close to injuries and my mitigation strategies. And the health and safety report includes my risk assessment along with my research into health and safety as a whole.
Thank you very much for watching. That was my project. Well, the bit you need to see of it. Going forwards, I'm still going to be growing chilies. I'm going to be making chili sauce. But yeah, I've gained a lot from this, and thank you very much for watching.